Welcome to the Two Grumpy Men, C. Grooms and Bobby May. What it do?
What it do? What it do?
Yeah, even with all the technical difficulties, you can't stop greatness, baby.
Yeah, let's
can't
go.
Stop it.
Let's go. Let's go. You know, what we got tonight? What we dealing with?
We dealing with a lot. We got the ladies on the line. You know what? I see you, Dion, Renee, Natalie. I see you out there. We're going to get y'all on in a few minutes. Just stick with us. We just getting going. So, my brother, you have some questions, some pertinent questions, for our community. Let's hear the first one, and, I'll answer it, and then we get the ladies on. Let's hear what they got to say. Because, I need to be educated. I need to be educated so I can educate the next person. Hey, come on, you looking out at society, man. The men, I'm not saying me and you personally, but our men, our brothers, they missing something. Etiquette, responsibility, accountability, all of that. Lack of manhood. Like we losing on a lot of fronts. So I guess
the first question should be: is there such thing as black love? Since you basically named off all these things that black men don't have. That's what you just did. Well,
with all of the stuff I just named, it makes me wonder, like, damn, well, how do they love us? With all the stupidness that we do, within the community, we do a lot of crazy stuff, man. So I guess for them to put up with us, I guess they do love us, but what is black love? I would say black love is communication, on the surface level. I'm just going to be surface in a minute. Communication, dropping the ego. You got to have some compromise in there. You're not going to get everything that you want, but you also have to know what your partner wants. You have to sit down and have, some goals, planned out. But it's stages. When you first start dating someone, you first start seeing someone, I don't know, unless it's love on first sight. That's kind of rare. It's like an aberration. You grow to love someone, you stay in love with them, and then some people just fall out of love. So there's a reason that these things happen. So, I guess communication would probably be the first thing on my list if I had to name anything. But, I mean, that's all I got, off the top of my head.
I guess when you say black love, you're saying, that it's just black people loving each other, their counterparts, as far as.
Oh, well, that went without saying. I wasn't talking about no disrespect. There's no disrespect to people that have, that are doing interracial dating. That's just not, my cup of tea. I see it out here. I don't really knock it, but at the same time, I go like, do you have a balance there? Because you can see the climate of today. The climate of today is like, well, all right, if you're in an interracial, relationship or you're dating or marriage or whatever, can that person take you home in today's climate and you feel comfortable and vice versa? I don't know about white people, but black people, we're kind of, we feel you out. We're kind of generally accepting, if a white person comes to our house, we'll try to make them comfortable, whereas when we go to their house, I don't really know that dynamic. I've never been to, a white person's house, white woman's house. I never dated a white woman, but I can't. So it's not the same thing as if you have a white teammate or a white friend or something. I don't know what that feels like. But from the outside looking in, as uncomfortable as people have become when discussing race and our specific issues, I mean, I have to keep it, black love. Like I said, no disrespect. To anybody that's doing the interracial dating thing. But let me know how that goes when it's time for Thanksgiving and you got to go to their house. Let me know how that turns out because I know a few people. I'm just saying, man. Let's, we can't sugarcoat it.
I mean, though, I think the main thing is that, like I was saying, black love is just us loving one another. It's just us black people just loving each other. And black men loving black women and vice versa. But when it's a lot of different, the black man is taking such a hit like all across the board from everybody. So, you know, you have to ask, really, is there a thing called like black love? Because are black women really still loving black men? Because, I mean, that the way I see it, and you know, in the conversations I've had, I don't get that feeling I don't get that feeling. I get a feeling like black women are tired of black men. That's the feeling.
Damn.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, and so, you know, when you start talking about interracial shit, it starts to you know, it also starts with that you'll see a lot of black women say they try to date black men and it didn't work out, and black men treated them bad, or, you know, they did all X, Y, and Z, whatever. And you know,
how many though? Did they ever give you a number?
You know, I mean,
of how many black men did them dirty?
I mean, it don't really. I don't know if a number. I mean, I don't know if a number is going to suffice. I think that if it's one person that you put in, I mean, because you could be in a relationship for like 20 years with one person, and then this person cheats and has a whole nother family, and then did you dirty and wrote you out a life insurance policy, did all kind of shit. That experience alone is going to is going to have an impact on your thought process moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's address that. We're going to address all of that tonight, you know, as much as we can, because those are real issues, you know, that happen. So, all right, okay, Zakiya, I see you. You know what? We have 4 very educated women on the line, worldly, you know, we're going to get them all on the line at the same time. What was your first question? Is there such thing as real black love?
Yeah.
And I'm going to get everybody on the line. Let me unmute everybody. And, you know, whoever wants to go first.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you clearly, very clearly.
Hey. All right, good evening, guys. Good evening, brothers and sisters. This is Renee.
How you doing, Renee?
So glad you guys are doing this, and big up to you both for what you brothers are doing with the podcast and everything else you have going on.
Thank you.
But you started the conversation off with a bang, huh? Like you just right out the gate with some heavy stuff.
Okay.
So much to say. But I think the first thing that struck me or resonates with me is the question about black love and, like, what is it and does it exist? And I think it definitely does exist. And for us, and what this present climate is showing us and what we've always known, that black love very much is still alive, and it has to be alive. It's tantamount to our survival. So what is black love is really akin. It's an act of political. It's a political act. It's an act of social justice. It's nation building. So we have to continue to have the conversation and discussion about black love, because that leads to the black family, which we know is black men are under attack. Yes, black women are under attack, but especially the black family is really under siege. And so we have to keep striving for this goal of black love. And so what is black love? It's everything that a regular or a love relationship, I don't want to say regular, that's the wrong language, but it's everything that you would have in a relationship. But on top of that, it's a partnership and it's a bond to help you, like, navigate your blackness in America. You need a partner to help you be able to continue to be strong and to build and to thrive and survive in this context, in this world that is against black people generally, just at every front. So that was my immediate thought about this whole notion or this concept of black love. Yes, it's real. Yes, it exists, and it's necessary.
Okay.
That was a well, heartfelt answer. It wasn't, it required no thought. That came from the heart. I felt that.
Yeah, I felt that, definitely.
I definitely felt that.
And we love y'all. We love black men. I still love black men. I don't ever want a king to think that, Of course we still love black men. I'm not tired of y'all. I don't know, but I can't speak for all the sisters.
Right. Well, hey, that's good to know. I'm saying in general, because we getting pounded out here. We've been getting pounded for a minute, and I don't know. like we losing on a lot of fronts. Like I said, we just, I don't know. It's we raising the next generation, but are they ready to receive the information that they need, in order to become the man that they're supposed to be, And we learned from some great examples, growing up. Besides our parents and the father figures that we had, we gathered a lot of information on, what etiquette is supposed to be, like chivalry and holding doors and knowing what, how to eat, how to present yourself in public, not walking around looking all crazy, so there's a lot. It seems like, the younger brothers, there are some young brothers out there that get it. Like I'm not going to shoot down the whole generation. That's not fair, to the ones that's out here doing it. But there are a lot of guys that there's no way in hell, 15, 20 years from now that you're going to see whatever we call, a regular relationship because, guys, it just seems like they don't know how to treat the woman. You know what I'm saying? We grew up being taught, my mother was very involved. My aunts were very involved. Grandfathers, just learning different sides of the game, uncles, and, my brothers not so much. I learned what not to do from a lot of my brothers, extended family, or whatever. But, it's crazy out here. So, it was a loaded. I don't know. It's not a loaded question. It's a tough question. But what is black love? Who we got? Who's next up? Don't all answer at once.
All right. You want to start? I'm coming in. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Hey,
hi y'all. This is Natalie.
How you doing, Nat?
I'm good, and I'm just glad that you guys gave me the opportunity to say my little piece on here. So thank you.
Okay.
And I just wanted to piggyback off of what Renee was speaking about when it comes to defining what black love is. To me, it's also loving yourself because oftentimes what you guys are seeing as us not loving black men is us not loving ourselves because we feel that black men don't love us, if that makes any sense. It's kind of cyclical, but it is what it is. Sometimes you need that, reassurance from someone else. Like you can have self-confidence, but it always helps to have someone else to say the same thing that you're thinking already. So, it goes hand in hand. So loving yourself, loving your culture, knowing where you come from, so that as you plan together as a black couple, as you raise children as a black couple, you can instill in your children a love of themselves so that when they go looking for a mate, they know what they're looking for. And, that's half the battle right there. And just to briefly touch on you saying how you learned the game from your mom and, the matriarchal figures in your family and not so much from the brothers, you learn what not to do from them. I often have an issue with it being called a game because I feel like relationships are serious. If I'm involved with you, whether it's a friendship, whether it is, a sisterhood, whether it's a dating situation, that's serious. Love is serious. So when we call it a game, that's why some women feel like, well, if they're not taking it seriously, then why am I working so hard?
Okay.
So, okay. Can I tell you what part of the game? The game part of it is in the beginning.
Sure.
Before you, unless it's love at first sight. Which has its own parameters, I think. But when you start talking about the game is in the beginning when we express interest in you, and it's that chase. You ever heard women say, "Well, I like to be courted. I like to be chased." Like, all right, I want to court you. Okay, I don't want to chase you. Like, I'm interested. Like, if I call you, how you going? If I call you 3-4 times, you gonna let it go to voicemail before you call me back? Like those are the games I'm talking about that take place. In the beginning, like you like me or you don't. I don't know. I'm telling you what men feel. That men that have been through that. I'm talking about the good brothers. I ain't talking about the dudes that play games. I'm talking about the ones who are genuinely, they like you and, they call you and they're interested, there are women out there that have done that. Like, well, I'm going to let him wait. If he likes me, he'll call back. Okay. I mean, keep doing that.
Mhm. Well, that goes back to what I was saying, because the whole concept that it's a game comes from both sides, from men and women and the people that taught them the quote-unquote game. Why is love a game? Why are we playing with people's hearts? And I think if we stop playing with each other in that way and we become more serious and real with our intentions, then black love can become even stronger. And once we strengthen our bonds there, I mean, come on. We're rulers of the world anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I think it begins. Drop the game. Let's be serious about our love for each other, our love for ourselves, and, go from there.
I agree.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Strong comments.
That's fact.
What you think, bro? Yes, a lot of facts right there.
I mean, I get it.
Hard hitting right now. Damn.
I get it. I'm listening. Because I think that.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I hear what I think when we say game, that's slang talk. That's just basically us.
Yeah, that's definitely a metaphor.
That's something that we do among. That would have been a comment more likely said amongst peers. You know what I'm saying?
That
would have been. It's not like an openly comment that you want to say in front of women, because they Nat just eloquently just put, it's not a game, but to us, the way when we talk amongst ourselves, and that's just how we talk. So we're gonna say, I got some game from my man, and he told me this, but I get it. I understand.
I understand you too, but understand I'm not even putting it all on the man. Women play games too, so it's not even one-sided. Sometimes it's a retaliation coming from, the guys are playing games, so we're gonna play the game better. So when does it stop?
That's a good question.
Okay.
I don't think it stops until they figure out that they want to be with one another. Until then, the chase is on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the chase is on until somebody says that they want to commit to that relationship, or to commit to that person and commit to being with one another. That's the thing. And, I know, to me, I can talk about from when my experience, and, it was like dudes didn't want to settle down more back when I was coming up. Because they felt like, they was going to miss the last train. Like, maybe something else better coming along. So I hold on to you for a little bit, but something next come along. And nothing else comes along. And you see a lot of those dudes now, they lonely. They the dudes that they didn't want to be, the ones in the club with their shirt open, talking to somebody's daughter. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's a process. And I think dudes don't grow up fast. Dudes definitely don't grow up as fast as women do. I mean, it takes us a minute. I wouldn't say we hit that strong point until we at least going into our 30s. During the 20s,
I was about to say that. Yeah, we like 27, 28 by the time we actually get it.
We in play mode, and a lot of women don't be in play mode when they get to that past that 25 mark. Dudes are still like, I'm still young, want to run around, want to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like totally different. It's like, it's a totally different mentality, and they still thinking it like, we playing, it's a game, because to them mentally it still is a game. And I think nowadays it's gotten even worse for dudes, because the same dudes who I came up with, now they become fathers and they teaching the same things to their kids. So they sons is learning the same what they pops is telling them too. And they telling them what they used to do like it was honorary. So it just passes on more, that same thing and that same behavior. And you do have a lot of I was talking to my daughter, and I was like, there's a lot of baby boys. That story is like really real. Like that, there's a lot of men like that.
Oh, you mean from the movie?
Yeah, like they really are like that. Like, you know, dudes and their moms is like, you know, they're a couple. Like, so it's like hard to break out of that. And, you know what I mean? We talk about it all the time, though. We talk about how these young boys, their moms been babying them so much. They baby them till they so, like, dudes is just really soft right now. Like, they really are soft. Like, they just, I mean, to me, I guess because I got all daughters, dudes is like really soft to me because my daughters is like harder than them. Like, I'm like, you know, like the things that they do and how they carry them. I'm like, wow, you know. I'm like, okay, you know. I mean, they also get in the game from those same fathers who used to do dirt, and now they like, nah, you ain't gonna play me. I understand this very well. I understand what's going on very well, and you know. And then and I think so. It's been a lot of. What's the word I'm looking for? I want to say a lot of bad advice passed on from both sides to now to this next generation, and it's just making black love seem more difficult and confusing to them.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's
true.
I think, you know, that's creating a lot of problems right now too. Bad parents.
You definitely might want to give some. You definitely might want to give some credit to the mothers.
Brothers for what?
Okay.
What you saying?
I'm across my legs on this.
For teaching their daughters,
True.
How to act in a relationship.
True.
How to carry themselves in a relationship.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
sometimes love can get in a relationship.
I'm talking to you personally.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Well, you going?
Okay.
You coming at me personally? You talking to me?
Okay.
You coming at me personally? You talking to me?
You got. Yeah, because you got all these hard daughters, but you got these hard daughters, but they got a mother too, right?
I mean, they gonna get game from both sides of the tree, though. They getting the game.
Okay.
But they getting the game from the aspect. They getting the game from the aspect of from their daddy who was out there. So at the end of the day, you giving them advice from a woman's side. I'm giving them advice from a dude that was really out there and really seen it and really know. You know what I'm saying? So it's two different games they getting. So yeah, they get in the game. They understand how to take care of themselves and be a lady, but they also understanding what to look for because of that game that their daddy gave them on these dudes. So it's not taking away from nothing. I'm just saying that why these girls have gotten even more sharper because they've gotten that experience and that knowledge also from their dads who's telling them what really it is. Like, yo, this is what it's really like out here. You know, this is what love can be. This is what love can't be. This is a dude that's not real. He's not genuine. This is how you test to see if this dude is worth you being with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the game you giving them. So everybody, it ain't taking nothing away from Mama Bear.
No, I know.
So, you know what I'm saying?
So with that said, okay, Zakiya, talk to us. What is black love then? Because the ladies have had some strong answers,
So I definitely want to thank the ladies on here who already said their comments on black love, because me personally, I'm going to say that I kind of took it for granted that there is black love because that's really all I know, like all I come from. And it's not just the love between my mother and father, because my mother and father was divorced. So I didn't really have that to look up to say this is what I wanted my family to be like. But I think that I don't really necessarily say like a hashtag black love, because I just feel like that's what we are. We're love. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we show all the time. That's what I tell my kids. Like, you don't come from fear, you come from love. So it's just like that's just what I know. And that's what I teach them. But I think that what I try to do with my own children and with my relationship is to show them how a black woman and a black man can love each other. Like, what does that look like? And that's really through example. Like, I know that Rob say, you know, like he has these conversations with his daughters, and I have conversations with them too, like how you want a man to respect you and treat you, you know, how you stand up for yourself, but also, you know, how you respect him, how he's supposed to respect you, how you stand together, how the both of you together is stronger than apart. You know, like just the way that I model my life is just like what I think it should be, you know. So I just feel like I just kind of take it for granted to say like it's black love, because I just feel like that's just where I am. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but I don't go around saying black love, black love. I just feel like we're black, so that's what we exhibit, love, you know. So that's kind of where I am with it. But I do definitely agree with both Natalie and what Renee said on, you know, building black love is not just a husband and wife or a relationship, is the whole community. Like, we should be loving each other, and that's what I'm trying to allow my kids to understand, is that like it goes beyond the family. It starts in the household, but it goes beyond the household. You know, when you leave your home, it's still about all black people. You know, so it's not just relationships, it's all of us.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I got some strong answers. Okay, I got a lot of notes down already. But who else? Let's see who we got. Dion, you got an answer for that? What is black love?
Well,
no?
Hi everyone. Yes. Okay, so you know, my perspective is probably a little different and more cultural, because, you know, I come from a different country. However, just living in America and see, you know, what they describe as black love is a contradiction sometimes to me, because as a kid that's, you know, from the Caribbean, our models are different. And so we're trained different when it comes to black love or love in the home, you know, with a boy, with a man. You know, so I always use my two brothers, you know, Bob and Dave. I always say, you know, that's definitely black love for me. I'm not saying the struggle is easy. However, you know, from the day they got married, they, you know, I've never seen them have any kind of encounters with any kind of issues, you know, and, you know, but definitely, you know, black love is, you know, is compromise, is definitely, you know, feeling loved by each other. And, you know, for me, it's the model that we've had as children that make us that develops into black love. You can't love a man if you've never been loved, if you don't love yourself or love wasn't shown to you as a child.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you know,
I feel you on that.
Yeah, I can disclose that, you know, my mother and father, you know, were like never together, but we knew our parents loved us. My father loved us. You know what I'm saying? He might love us differently. My mom showed the most love for her kids. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, she was man and woman. And I think my brother knows that more, where, you know, she was the one that's, you know, who modeled the father and the mother, you know, baseball games, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I remember having a conversation with my mom, and, you know, and we were actually talking about my brother, and she said, I wish I had a man like him. I don't even think my brother knows this, but, you know, because from the day he got married to Kia, that he never blinked his eye again or nothing else. It's just family, developing that strong bond, love, and being there for his kids. You know, so that, you know, So we respect him, but he doesn't even know I'm letting everything out of the bag tonight. But, yeah, him and my brother Dave, they do some good stuff. To show, what black love is, I mean, as a therapist, I see it come before me sometimes, the kids can't show love because they never had love in their family. Split homes is hard. It is definitely hard, And sometimes we date men, we don't know their background, and they try to put the best foot forward, so we don't know that they come from broken homes or their father was a drunk or alcoholic, and so you start off good and then it start deteriorating. But yeah, that's all I got.
That's a very interesting perspective, I must say. So so when you start off in the relationship, because that's where I think we got to fix that part in general. Like when we start off in the relationship, we got to know where we're going, right? So is it gonna be an actual relationship, or is it gonna be a friendship? Because if I don't know, if you don't want to lose the friend, but you don't really think that person is husband material, like where are you gonna put them? Like do you cultivate them to be a husband, meaning like, I think I could, he's kind of quirky, but I could get, I could stay with him. I could fall in love with him. Like, or do you just say, hey, nah, I'm going to keep you over here, just as a friend? I mean, I've seen that, the whole friend zone thing, and dudes never get out of that for the most part. It's troubled waters because you know everything about your friend, but you can't cross the line because now you ain't a friend no more and you know too much. So, it gets kind of tricky. So how do we solve that problem? I mean, just in general, because that seems like that's something we could teach the youth, because they're going to run across young men. The young ladies are going to run across a young men like that. Guys are going to run across the young ladies that's like that. Like what are you going to do? They're your friend or are you going to date? And if so, how? How do you decide? It doesn't seem like it's on us. We could chase all day. But if y'all don't really want to be with us, how do we know? What those signals and stuff that y'all say that y'all send, we don't have that antenna. We can't pick that up unless it's like blatant. I'm being honest. Like, help us, because we got to teach.
And I think one of the biggest things that I've seen that I definitely try to tell my daughters is like, you can't change, you can't make a dude. You can't make him, and you can't change him if you don't want to be changed. Like, and,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, don't take on projects, like, because sometimes you can't finish them shits. You know what I'm saying? it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, dudes, they'll do it every now and then, but they won't do it a lot. Like, they're not gonna be like, maybe I could work with a dudes now. I may be off. Maybe these young dudes, that's what they do now.
No, you're right. You can have a couple of issues, a few, but you can't have them all. Like, that's the project, like, because you're not changing it. You just can't. You can't change everything. Like, first of all, you can't change a woman. Period.
You can't change anybody if that's who they are.
You gotta be able to merge.
Yeah, it's sacrifice, but you gotta sacrifice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta sacrifice. That's the whole thing about relationships. It's a sacrifice. Like, there's certain things I don't like, but it's a sacrifice because you know what I'm saying? I know there's certain things she don't like about my shit neither. But we sacrifice because we love each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
that comes with time, though. Like that. So hold on. You do. That comes in time where you could be like, all right, that's just what he do. I could deal with that type of shit. But before it get there, how do you go through those waters? You know what I mean? Like that's the tough part. Going through the beginning, like how much of this shit am I gonna put up with? Like, do I love her like that? Then that's you sit back and like, yeah, all right, I do love her. So, all right, I'm gonna put up with her shit. She's gonna put up with mine. and I'll try to have it the least amount as possible, hopefully. Because you don't know what the other person thinks about you unless you communicate. You don't talk about it, ain't nothing going to change. You could think that a person, they know you, but like Dion said, people might have a alcoholic daddy. You might have daddy issues or whatever. Guys too. So I guess with that being said, how far do you go in the beginning? Do you pay the $49.99, do a background check or something, or you got to care about them before you do that, or you gonna let them tell you, even though you might have known some things already? What angle do women take? Guys want to know, what angle do you take? Do you do the background check, or you just try to feel them out?
I think is that my daughter on the other line? Is that my daughter on the line? Are you on the line?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so we got a youngin on the line. You can ask them that because I'm sure they Google and Instagram check all these young boys out there.
So are you paying people? Do you pay the fee to do the background?
So they gonna do a check on them.
Yeah, it's really easy.
Let her tell it.
Yeah, almost every guy before. You and your friends pretty much do. We see the guy, so now it's an investigation. So the Instagram page is kind of like basic. That's what he feels comfortable showing the world. If you could find his Finsta, which is his private account, that's going to show his real personality. Twitter's going to show what he thinks about, if he's halfway deep, kind of deep, so you can gauge conversations and questions. You want to ask him, what he feels comfortable with, who are his friends, do you know those people, are they good people? So you just kind of, that gives you your guide of what questions you're going to ask. Okay, well, because, and that's where the problem comes in, because a lot of the times today the issue is there's the personas that are on social media and then there's the real life person. So you're kind of always battling sometimes the person online and then this person that you actually meet. So that's one of the things you got to be careful for.
Okay. That's interesting.
I'm glad
the whole dual personality thing. I know. I'm just saying, a dual personality. It's how you are online and how you are in person. In my head, I don't know. I think it's supposed to be the same, but I see that people are actually. It should be right, but a lot of people have that. They're able to do it. You have this persona online, and then you with the person. So it's which person are you? It seems like a
right.
mixed
But
message.
that's how we're able to wave them out, though. That's how we know, okay, well, this is not a good one because you act different. And usually the guys who are on internet the most are not the guys to be with. It's the guys who pop up here and there, have something to say. Those are the ones who are more than likely who they really are because they don't really have time for the internet. Internet is really a girls' game. That's how girls get to. That's the game that the girls run, is through the internet, because it's still very old school in the sense that guys run the game verbally in person. The internet is really our game. It's not really for the guys to come at us. That's really what we use. If a guy uses that, then it's kind of okay, you're not that cool. It's true.
I never looked at it like that. That's okay.
It's our game for our selfies, just to show off our outfits. It's real. Think about it. A guy doesn't really care that much, or he's not saying he shouldn't care that much, but a guy who's using a filter, okay, I'm not really gonna talk to you. That's not your game. That's my game. Why are you using a filter more than me? That's not what you should be doing. So that's how we could tell. Okay,
that's right.
He's super into himself, or you can tell he's not into themselves. And I think that's what maybe sometimes make it less possible amongst young people to have a sense of black love, because now it's everybody we see. We get to see everyone, and you can feel connected to anybody no matter what color. It's kind of been watered down in a sense, and black love has become watered down because it's well, there's so many of us. We're connected everywhere. I can talk to somebody all the way in LA if I wanted to, who's not black. Because the possibility is endless and it's promoted through everything we watch, through everything we see, it's
I don't have to, or what's even the importance of me dating a black person? Because I've had those conversations with people, and they don't really know, like, what does it matter if I date a black guy or a black girl or not? Like, what is it? There's no difference.
Wow. Okay. That's a strong statement. Ooh. So what? Oh, yeah. Hey, Rob. I don't know, bro. You know, the ladies is not having it. They came with some strong points, boy. Nah. Hey, every answer was. I mean, wow. You know, I got a lot of notes here. I don't know. I'm glad we didn't do this together, though.
Corey, I do want to respond to that, though. I think that in the beginning, you know, you're trying to fill each other out. But I know for me, I'm very inquisitive, so I'm going to be asking all kind of questions. Like, I don't have no shame in my game.
And I learned that from her.
So it's like, you know, if you're not giving me the right answers, then that's going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm watching everything, too. I'm watching the difference between what you do and what you say. You know what I'm saying? So
you mean while you asking the question? You mean the observation of it?
Exactly. I'm watching the person and how they move. You know what I'm saying? How they deal with people. You know, like for instance, like with my husband, with Rob, he had a daughter already. You know, and so I paid attention to you know how he was already fathering. You know, and how much he loved her, and how he even said to me, like, first off, you know, I have a daughter, and if that's a problem, then, you know, this not going to work. Like, he was very upfront with me, very honest. And I remember a statement he made I'll never forget, and I share it with my daughters, is that he's like, if I'm not happy, then I'm not staying in a relationship. And so, you know, like, I always felt that I always did love myself, because Dion made a really good point by saying that, like, you know, you have to experience love and love yourself in order for you to be able to love somebody else. And that's true. And this man that I met loved himself. And so if I wasn't loving myself, it wasn't going to work. It was not going to work. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, in a lot of ways, that brought me that had me to evaluate myself, you know, and the love that I had for myself, because I'm like, well, damn, well, if he feel that good about himself, I know I got to feel good about myself. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we were very honest.
Hold on, okay. Wait a minute. Okay, so basically, okay, you know what I got from that? I said, okay, you know, Rob, you knew your worth, right? You said, you know what? I'm a father. I'm a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna present my full self. Like, you know what? I'm a catch. So I ain't got time to play. Now you, on the other hand, you ain't got time to play either, because you saying, like, hold up, I'm looking at what he's saying, how he's saying it, because you watching body language. I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of guys don't know that their body language. You know, that's not something that we get taught. Like, you know, how you put. There is no such thing as being cool. Like, you are what you are. So you could tell a cornball like he's trying to act, or, you know, like, these are just things that guys don't really. You have to be taught that. Like, just be yourself, whatever that is. You know, somebody will like that.
Right.
So, that's a. Hey, Rob, man. Not that I doubted anything, you know, but you got some strong compliments tonight, brother. You was the guy, huh? I'm glad we hung out, man. We learned a lot from each other. You know, I guess that's broke off.
That sounds like Black Love Goals to me. That's hashtag Black Love Goals right there. That's crazy.
Right.
That's what's up.
The positive association, you know? Positive.
Yes.
Yeah, because those conversations, you know, trust me, that those conversations take place, you know, between guys, between men, you know, that, yo, it's time to stop playing, dude. Like only somebody that actually care about you, the person, could tell you that. Because guys that's out there that's playing, you know, as you said, playing the game, you know, I don't even want to be associated with that. There was a point in my life that I just said, I don't even want to be around that. Not that I was with somebody, but I don't want to do that, because I know where that leads. You know, having seeing older brothers, you know, that just went, you know, and did different things or whatever. You know, I didn't want to do it. Plus, I had my mother was very, very instrumental in making sure that I understood She was very instrumental in making sure that I understood woman and these different parameters and she explained the complexities. You know, my brain was spinning when I was about 14, 15. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do school and sports right now. I'm good. I ain't trying to learn all that right now. But I did teach me etiquette and respect. I'm just saying. It taught me etiquette and respect at the minimum. So that's wow. That's Black Love. So y'all peep the style. I'm gonna let the guys know, like, yo, they peep you. Like, don't do no fake hand gestures, and you trying to, there's people that see through you. That's a gift, though.
That's a gift.
That's an ill gift. That's an ill gift, though.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's the gift you got. If you got that gift, if somebody could give you that gift, then that's what I'm saying. That's the tools you equip your kids with. You equip them with those tools.
Ill.
So like, yo, listen, listen. You don't got time to waste at this point. Like, a lot of growing up, we felt totally different. We felt we had a lot of time. Yo, I'm young. I'm gonna be here forever. Whatever. That shit, it don't pan out like that. Like, you gotta understand time is valuable. So you sitting in a relationship for 3-4 years with somebody, and then one morning they wake up and like, nah, this shit ain't gonna work no more. You just blew 3-4 years of your life with this person, and they just turned on the whim and just bounced on you. So you know what I'm saying? So that shit right there, that's you got to understand what you're dealing with from the beginning. Like, you don't have time to waste and no time to play no games. Like, listen, my time is important to me, and that should be understood from the door. Like, my time's important, and definitely, if we trying to make this right.
Open the bag. You got baggage. Open the bags up. Like, here, this is what I'm bringing. You're good. The bad, the indifferent. Analyze it, whatever. Like, I'm gonna tell you. Ask me a question, I'll tell you.
That's key because.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I can wait. Oh, I was just going to say that just hearing the conversation is a beautiful conversation. Just the importance of having the courage to really deeply know yourself, like get to know yourself and excavate and dig in and learn about who you are and what you bring to the table. And it goes back to what the ladies were mentioning earlier about self-love. And having the courage to do that work first as an individual is imperative. Like, if you're still broken and you don't know how to heal yourself and love yourself, then you're going to bring that brokenness into every relationship that you encounter, your love relationship, your sisterhood, your friendship. That brokenness of self, if you don't do your own work, is going to carry over. So it's just so amazing and courageous to hear how willing folks are to do that work, to know themselves and to love yourself. And I think the biggest issue in most relationships is a lack of love of self. People don't know who they are. They don't know what they're about. They have identity crisis, or you spend a lot of time learning how to lie to yourself because you don't want to confront the good, the bad, the ugly of who you are. So I believe folks going through that pain as individuals, you bring that pain into relationships, and that's just detrimental, because if you can't get past doing your own work, then you're not going to be able to build a relationship on any type of foundation. And I truly believe, and I've seen in my family, unfortunately, you see that pain, people managing their pain and not having the tools and not being equipped, carrying to their relationships, and then it's kind of a vicious cycle. So I think it's really, really key what you guys mentioned about knowing your worth, loving yourself, and then bringing your whole self to a relationship. And then learning and getting to know each other is critically important as well. And having those difficult conversations up front is so imperative, and you just don't do it enough at all.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's all true. That's all true.
Yeah, dudes don't like to do the hard conversation, especially if it got to do with their personal, with how they was raised, or if it was difficult. Those are conversations a lot of people try to avoid, and and don't want to deal with that. But you're totally correct on that, Renee. That joint you bring it with you. No, you can't run from it. Like, you're trying to run from it, but you everywhere you go, it's going to come with you until you deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And you got to eventually let that pain go. And when you do, you'll see that, you know what I'm saying, you become like you'll be a better person from it, because you'll understand a lot more about yourself. And that's the thing, like, you got to understand yourself as much as possible, so you can so this way another person can understand you, because you got to be able to explain who you are and live by what you stand for and things like that. And when you do that, people respect that and they understand. Like, my family will tell you I'm not really big on emotions, because I'm big on doing. You know what I'm saying? That's how I show my love. My love is from doing for you and doing. I don't have to get up every day and say I love you, but you understand I love you because I'm putting it in for you every day, and I'm doing that for you every day. I'll show you, because I think a lot of times people get caught up in words. It's easy to say, it's easy just for people to say in relationships, well, I love you, I love you. If those are hollow words, if there's nothing behind that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just hollow if there's nothing behind it. If there's nothing behind it, somebody saying they love you, but, something go wrong with something happened to you and they not there for you, then it's like, do you really love me? Because if something's wrong with you, you're going to be like, listen, if something's wrong with, if it was my girl, or anybody that's with me, my wife, anybody that I've been with, if you say, and you call me and say, hey, yo, something's wrong, I drop everything because of what you mean to me as a person. So I'm gonna come and see what's going on. That's caring for people, and that's showing love. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what's missing a lot too. Like, people just don't get it. Like, black men don't get it. Like, even if this person you may not down the line marry this woman, while you're with her, you still have to protect her. When she's out with you, you still got to protect her. You still got to do all the thing a man would do, because that's just the right thing to do. I mean, I learned that, like I said, I grew up mostly with my moms, but I learned that from my moms, because she's telling me from a woman's aspect. Like, when you out, you make sure you take care of it, even if that's somebody, even if you may not want to be with that person, don't lead them on, then keep it 100 with them. Let them know. Like, don't lead them on. Don't hurt their feelings. Right. And lead them on and get yourself in more misery. You know what I'm saying? It's better to just be upfront and truthful with people, and and that's the part of the game that I know when I say that, I know Natalie probably cringes and shit, but so you know what I'm saying? But that's
part of the process.
That's a part of the process.
It's all right. I'm from the hood too. I know.
That's part of the process. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the process. You know what I'm saying? That you had to learn not to, you got to get away from. It's saying, like she said, the game shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stop playing, stop listening to the games and understand, you know what I'm saying, and be upfront and real with people. And that saves a lot of time on wasted time in relationships, and that saves a lot of time and hurt on people, because they don't feel like they've been led on and nothing, because you've been upfront from the start. Like, this is who I am, and it's either if you like me like this is who I'm gonna be. But if you don't, then it's best to
love me or leave me alone. This is me.
Love me. So, and that's where, and once again, somebody loves you, and if they love you, but for instance, there may be certain things that my wife do, but I love her, so I'm gonna look beyond that shit, because that it don't outweigh the love, because what I'm saying, it didn't interrupt our happiness. It's just something that for me, I may just have to sacrifice and bite that and be like, it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
But that's early on, though. You learn
and
how
vice
to
versa.
deal with that.
Exactly. Vice versa. Definitely vice versa. Definitely vice versa. Oh, yeah. It's definitely vice versa.
We're like, come on. We know it's vice versa now. We ain't walking around like, we step on grapes. You know what I mean? Like, we know.
So definitely.
That was interesting.
That's a beautiful thing. That's compromise. That's compromise. Where there's love, there's compromise.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then growth.
I get it.
Yeah. So that was but what's your second question, Rob? Before we go back there, I think later on, I need to ask this question, though, because that was an interesting perspective. I heard, well, I don't, if I don't want to date a black man, I don't, like, what's the word I'm looking for? What is the advantages of dating one? Because that's basically, what do we present to the world that will make a woman say, you know what, I'm going to choose a black man over everybody? Because that's a real question now. Because in light of what's going on in the world, like, well, what do we present that will make somebody say, nah, I'll never date outside my race. I'm staying with the brother right here. Because brothers are slipping right now. Because I'm hearing different perspectives. I mean, it's tough.
I think the youngin hit it on the head. They don't feel that way no more. Like, they have she said they have an open, internet and social media has opened the world up to them. So it's like it's
world
nothing.
Is wide open.
Yeah, so today it's not a big deal to say I date a black woman or a black man. Only if that's been drilled in you or you've been raised that way to love and seen that, those things start to play effect, and then that's maybe. But even still, you can't really control who your kid's gonna see. You may want them to be like, I want you to date this. I want you to date a black man or so forth. But if that's that's gonna still be their decision. You may not like it. You may not agree, but that's their decision. You know what I'm saying? You hoping that they made the best choice. But I don't think I think nowadays you can't really put that. I don't think they really respect it like that anymore.
Well, I got one daughter. I got questions when they come home, though. I got questions.
Oh, I got questions.
Come home. You come home with the white dudes. Like, that's my daughter. I love her. When she gets to that age, she's going to break. I love her. But you know what I mean? Like, the dude, I'm sorry. We're going to have a separate conversation in another room. Like, what's up? Because I don't mess with Caucasians like that. Like on that level.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do you choose my daughter? What's up? You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be kind of aggressive. Like, you ain't getting invited to the Thanksgiving dinner on the first year round, things like that. Like, you going to have some barriers, dude. I'm sorry. But if she love them, all right, then I'll accept them in. But you can't say nothing racist.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. Can't be no mistake. It can't. None of that. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's the same thing. It's just everything is the same for the guy. The guy is going to get grilled regardless. Like, I'm being honest.
Right.
But, if it's a white dude, yo, hold up. What's up? Because I know she told you who her father is. Invite in the family line here. You know what family you marrying into. Like, up. So you know what's up. Like, that's a real thing. But I don't know. But it did open. I said, you know what? They're right. Because if I was in that age group now, thinking back then, it was definitely different. But being in that age group, like, you would be more open to other races, the people, because that's real. Puerto Rican, but I never viewed like a Puerto Rican or Dominican or Jamaican. They was black to me, or Indian.
Right.
They was indigenous or black. Like, so that was a big enough world for me. Like the Caucasian, see, like Rob said, like, that got drilled at me early. Now, you can't mess with the Caucasian at all. So, hey, I was okay with that. I ain't see him in school. So me and Renee went to school together.
Right.
We ain't had no Caucasians like that in class. You know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe a few here and there, a few white chocolate chips.
Here and there, you might have a Spanish-speaking dude. He thought he was white. Father thought he was white. But then when I met the mother, she's cooking the yellow beans and the rice, and all that. So
that's right.
They could try to be something that you're not, but I didn't grow up around that, so I don't know. But it's a valid point, and I do get it. Yeah. But, so, Rob, you got hard-hitting questions. What's up? What's the second question, man?
So the question I got, because I'm trying to gauge where, because, remember we had a conversation a few weeks, maybe a month ago, when we talked about how black men were talking on the internet. about black women and how they said they didn't feel, how black women stated that they don't feel protected by black men. So, and from that conversation, you seen that all these, it was a whole thread of black men on there. Just, I mean, to me, it was quite embarrassing.
Yeah, that was ugly.
Yeah,
that was actually that was a very ugly. It was pretty bad, actually.
It was pretty bad. Yeah. So I guess my question over to the ladies is, do y'all feel like, in general, I'm not going to say personal, I'll just say overall, do you feel like black men have just been a letdown? Like, you know what I'm saying? That, like, from what you see or from what your experiences have been, the ones in your family, anything, just have they been just good of character and things of that like that, and just been respectful to women and black women and shown that love? Because I get the feeling like black men have let black women down, and I guess, do y'all feel let down by the overallness of black men?
Yeah, brother. That was
that's a deep one.
That's a lot right there.
Yeah. See?
That's a lot. That's a lot to chew on right there, brother. But hey, I ain't a woman, so I ain't got to answer that. So, you want to answer first?
I mean, as black women, as you know, we talk a lot at length about what black men go through, but the least protected, the least respected, the least valued person globally in the world are black women. So we deal with that. On top of that, it's an extra pain or it's an extra dart to then have some of the brothers, and it's not all of the brothers, but to have too many brothers buy into that mindset that somehow black women are less than or not of value or not a prize. It's really heartbreaking and painful. And I think that a lot of times, I know I can speak for myself. As a black woman, I feel that I'm there. I'm cheering for, I'm always rooting for black men. I feel like I have a lot more love for black men sometimes, and that's not reciprocated. Like we're just not. We're not the queen. We're not the value. There are too many black men out there who just have this mindset, and it's a vestige and it's an impact of the systematic racism and all that we've been impacted by as a people, that they still value white women or women who aren't black. And so that's particularly hurtful.
You faded out a little bit, Renee. Go ahead, speak, because what you said, I caught the gist of what you're saying. You fix your speaker real quick. I understand what she's saying. It's one thing to show love, and then it's not reciprocated. Like, I get that. That's a tough position to be in, especially from even from a pre-relationship angle. It's like, based on what the conversation that I saw online with Joe was going in about who was worthy of being protected and who wasn't. Like, it was it was lines drawn in the sand. Like, they was not playing. This person don't deserve to be protected if she out here doing A, B, C, D. So then I guess my analytical brain is like, well, then why you out with them? Why you wasting your time?
Right.
If you're going to be out with this woman, like, how do you not protect her honor then? Like, she's with you. Y'all supposed to be a reflection of each other, even if y'all not, going hard body, especially in the beginning. Like, how hard can you go in the beginning if you don't have no expectations, in the relationship? And I think once you get to a certain point in time, whether, I don't know if there's a specific age, but there is a point in time where you say, I'm not wasting my time with this person, or I'm going to go on with this person. Like, let's see what happens. What are we going to do? And, women, y'all do mature faster than we do. Like 17, 18, 19, 20, y'all going into, like, womanhood, and, like, we just leaving our mama's breast, basically, at 19, 20. Like, we still kind of, unless we was reared a different way, but, for the most part, y'all way ahead of us at that point. Y'all ready to have children and get married, 23, 24, average black dude that I know, 23, 24, that's the furthest thing from his mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's just, that's the truth. But, yeah, bro, that was a loaded-ass question, man. That's a lot to unpack, man. I'm like, I don't know, man. That was tough, brother.
Anybody else?
I would hate to have that thrown at me. Yeah, anybody else got an answer for that? That was a tough question. I don't, like I said before, don't answer all at once. I know y'all got something. I can feel it. I feel the vibe. Like
I feel it.
Ladies, when
a lot to process.
It's a lot to process.
Oh, it's a lot to process. I don't know. So
it's always painful, and it's something that keeps happening again, where we see black men just dogging black women out. Like it's like, why? And it's something that happens a lot. It happens a lot where you're just in this very public space, this public platform, just denigrating black women. That's a painful, painful thing. It's painful. At least for me, it's very painful to see that and have to take that in and just knowing what it is and how it is to navigate this world as a black woman. It's really, really painful to see and to experience. So I don't know.
Okay.
To not be chosen by our own black kings is heartbreaking. Why not choose us? Why wouldn't you choose a black woman?
I say the same thing. Like, there was no other choice but that. That's just how I was raised. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know. Hey, Nat, you got an answer for that? No, maybe not.
Oh, Lord, just put me on the spot. Okay.
Yeah. Let me hear.
I mean, that's a hard question because it's two different things going on. It's things that you feel. Like, for me, I feel that black men are, they're the gods. Like, if you believe in gods and earths, and like, black men are everything. But at the same time, what they're showing us is contrary. How can you say that, how can you hashtag black love, but you are trying to date Becky? You don't want the sister with the natural hair. Her hair is too nappy. You don't want the sister that's dark skinned or a little heavy set or whatever. You want the one that had breast implants and lip injections, and they trying to look like us, but you not trying to be with us. So, and I don't mean you as in you, but that's what we're seeing, and that's why we have our young black girls out here getting butt injections and breast implants. And why? We're naturally made like that, a majority of us, but that's what is being presented out there, especially in the internet age. You have Instagram models, and you may have a boyfriend or a husband or whatever that is married to a black woman, but whose stuff are they liking on Instagram? So we're seeing two different sides of the same man. And it's like, which one should we believe? So while we always, you can't front, black women from day one have been ride or die. From the beginning of time, we always have been and have been expected to be ride or die. But at the end of the day, we're the single mothers. We're the ones that people are looking at in the grocery store. Like, I remember having a conversation with you when I had Elena. And, I look a lot younger than I am, so I felt like these people were looking at me in the store with the baby, like, why is this young girl in here by herself with a baby? Who's this black girl? Because that's the kind of look that you get as a black woman in America. We're looked at as promiscuous and, lazy. We are, we're sex objects. We're everything. And then we don't have our black men saying, no, that's not what they are. Those are our queens. Or even if they say that, they still with Becky or Donna or whoever, Mia Sophie's or whoever. But they're not with a black woman or someone that looks black.
Susie and Margaret.
Well, it's not just Susie and Margaret. It's any other exotic, quote unquote. It's not someone who looks like straight up black. Like you can't mistake them for any other culture. They don't want that look. They want something else, or at least that's what we're seeing. So that's why some women are like, well, if they don't want us, we're gonna go and test the waters elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I can't fault those people. I haven't had that issue, but I can't fault the person who says, well, if I'm not getting love here, I'm not going to stay here and get abused.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right. All right. I ain't, I ain't need to put you on the spot.
Well, you did, and that's what you got. So.
Yeah, no doubt.
But, I mean, it just goes back to when y'all talk about teaching the game, you got to teach these young brothers, like, this is not the new wave. Oh, we're going to go with the next new exotic with the fake plastic body. No. Who gave birth to you? You don't think that woman is beautiful? Why wouldn't you want someone that looks like you? You don't love yourself? So, I mean, all of it goes back into what we were saying earlier, loving yourself.
Okay.
How much of
jotting that down, bro? Because I'm gonna jot that down.
I got a question. I got a question though. I mean, how much of entertainment and social media have effect on this now, or was this always something that's been prevalent? I mean, because me growing up, I'm in predominantly, New York City. I mean, we only know blacks and Hispanics and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, really, and Cubans. So everybody else is either Caribbean and so forth. And so, but other than that, I mean, we don't really have much contact with outside, with white people, because white people live in their own section of the city, and they don't come across our line, so we don't really get to date them like that. But I do notice when you get out of New York City and head south, you see that more often. And you would think that you wouldn't see it, but you see it more often. And how much of that is because of entertainment, rap, or the music and things that have created this thing that that the other cultures have become a part of, so they feel like they with us. So now it's easy access to us to date us even more, date our women, date men, and so forth. So I mean, I think it's a few dynamics that play into that, because these dudes are here. They look at their favorite football player or their favorite rapper or entertainer, and they're saying, "Oh, I only like exotic girls," and then they're showing them exotic girls, and so that's what the young boys thinking that they need. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they following the leader type thing. It's not like they thinking for themselves, because when they get back to reality, you know what I'm saying, you may not even have a chance with that person. You know what I'm saying? Unless you in the limelight. Like these people get access to these type of people because, or these type of women, because they got money. And they got money, exactly. So the regular dude, he can say that, when I even hear my own daughter tell me that a lot, the same things, like, this is what dudes are saying, how they don't date black women because black girls now, because they got too much mouth and things like that. But that's been a stereotype that's been out for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's been a stereotype that's been out for years on black women, which,
some of that is true, though.
But, I mean, I wouldn't have it no other way.
Because we don't put up with the stuff that Becky's going to put up with.
But that's the thing, though. When you come from, I have a mama who mouth was sharp as a blade. So if I don't have, I gotta have somebody to say, hey, that's what I know. You know what I'm saying? I can't have a person who don't got a mind for their own. Like, I gotta think. If I gotta think for you and tell you what to do and shit, and you're gonna do it, I don't got time for that shit. That shit is, you gotta be your own person.
That's too much.
Exactly.
I feel like the issue of not valuing, because then you go back, yes, the social media presence is a big influencer on the way folks think and what we find to be beautiful, but that black women have always fought against a standard of beauty that didn't have us at the center. So, and I think about back in the days, even if you haven't grown up, if you didn't grow up around a lot of white people, or you didn't have access to white girls, you had access to the lighter skinned girls. So that touches on the issues of colorism. Mm-hmm. If she was light, if her hair was long, if she was light skinned, she was cuter. She got hollered at more. If she was Puerto Rican girls could have anybody they want. They could have any black guy they wanted, any Puerto Rican guy they wanted. If she wanted a white guy, she could even go take a walk on the wild side and have a white guy. So I think it's just for the darker sisters, the sisters that had a more Afrocentric beauty, it's always been a struggle. So even if you couldn't holler at Becky, you could holler at Maricela, and that's what she did, a common sister. And she was finer, you know, or it was the sisters that were lighter skinned. If you were light skinned, you were fine automatically. Light skin, long hair, you know, and it's all about being closer to that Eurocentric beauty standard. And that's back in the day. That's like growing up.
Yeah, that definitely coming up.
I remember.
Yeah, true.
You know,
that's definitely facts.
And I was going to say too, sorry. I was going to say too that I hate to bring it up, you know, but it goes back. This goes back so deep, and it definitely goes back to self-love. And I can remember my great nana. She was very dark skinned, and she didn't like my father because he was dark skinned, and so she would have preferred my mother have a light skinned man with curly hair, which her own daughter, my grandmother, did have a light skinned man with curly hair who 2 generations from him was half white. And so, you know, just because in social media, because of social media and entertainment, we see it more, is making it more acceptable. But this is something that's so deep-rooted in self-love. And I just feel like, you know, until, you know, we start to teach our younger people to really love themselves, you know, to love. Yes, black women are outspoken, but for so long we wasn't outspoken. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, to be able to respect that and understand that and relate to that, and not to look at that as a hindrance. You know what I mean? Or just the way, you know, because our hair is, you know, kinkier or our skin is darker. Like, just like she was just saying, like, when I was growing up, the guys did go for the lighter skin woman, or the curlier hair, or the Puerto Rican or Dominican or whatever. So I just feel like this is not nothing new. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, this is a narrative that's been going on for a long time. And even when you start to talk about the topic just before this, talking about, you know, do women feel like black men stand up for them, if that's still kind of like the same narrative, this has been going on for a long time too. So it's just like, I remember growing up and hearing gangster rap and being called bitches and hoes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where was the respect for women then? There's no, it's not no different. We just seeing it more now because people are constantly sharing their thoughts, their idiotic thoughts on social media all the time. You know what I'm saying? So this is deep rooted. It's not something that's just like this conversation that we just gonna have and it's gonna, you know, go away.
Well, it's definitely necessary to have, because all of the perception, you know, like the perception is reality. Like, we seeing it in front of our face. So, you know, it hasn't gone anywhere. You're talking centuries old stuff. You know, we just bringing it to the surface because, you know, we do have a generation, you know, behind us that needs to know. You know, like, it got broken along the way. And, you know, social media definitely plays a part because, you know, there are people that they idolize what is presented in front of them, you know, in terms of, oh, this is a media star, oh, look at what they do. You know, like, we saw the internet was on fire, you know, for Will and Jada, you know, with their nonsense. Like, I don't subscribe to none of that shit. Like, entanglements and whatever that is. You know, I know what an open marriage is. I know what that is, but, you know, you talking about somebody in my generation went back and basically, you know, mentally took advantage of somebody that's in their 20s. Well, I just said that dudes is not really developed mentally until they're like 25. Like your frontal lobe don't really get developed till you're like 25, and guys we barely at the surface at 25. Where a 40-something-year-old woman, 45, 46, 47, come on, well seasoned in the life, the game. I guess the game of life. I'm sorry, but women are well seasoned, and they 40. A 20-something that's their child, a child.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that they can do for you at all, other than sexually. That's it. They might not know how to do that. So it's just that was a bad situation, and she's she's a role model for somebody, and she got the nerve to have a red table talk. I'm supposed to come to her table and tell her about my shit. You ain't Ayanna Van Zant. I barely would want to go talk to her. But but at least she has a method. How Jada gonna help me? Let me see out here. You subscribing to all type of alternative stuff. I ain't knocking what they doing, but an open marriage is like that's what you call it, an oxymoron. You say y'all have a business arrangement. If you leave, brother, I got so much dirt on you, and I'm taking half your money. Like, just say it. Or you got dirt on her. Like, she's like, yo, we can't get divorced. Like, how do you have an open marriage but you follow, like, Catholicism? With those rules. I don't get it.
But they not a part of Catholicism, though. They part of
they're Scientologists, right?
Scientologists.
But
Scientologists.
So, Scientology, they give science a bad word.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think
a lot of people to them, Jada and Will are black love. Isn't that ironic? Like
exactly.
Oh Lord, please. And I'll fight that. I'll fight that every day.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's so ironic. It's like, nope, I don't think so. Not with them entanglement.
I mean, I think she did what an older woman would do to a young boy. She crushed him. That's what she crushed his heart. He was out of his league. That's just all it was. That's what I'm talking about. He got, he was out of his league. Yeah, he was out of his league. Like, this ain't for you. You fell in head over heels. You thought it was gonna be all good. Like, nah, that's not what it was. And you got hurt. And that's a learning lesson for him. You gotta grow from that now. You gotta take that and grow from it. But he's an entertainer, so he gotta try and make money from it. And put it in music and do interviews and tell a story about it. So but.
And to add to that, Rob, I mean, I just have to say, like, these are entertainers. Like, they on another playing field. Like, we can't model our lives off of what entertainers are doing. Because, first of all, we don't even know how true it is. We don't know if Will had any. He could have personally brought him to Jada. So, like, we can't even waste our time on these entertainers where most of their life is not real anyway.
Yeah.
Like, we can use what happened to them, as just for an example, but we don't know if this shit is real or not. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we don't know if Jada needs some ratings for Red Table Talk or Will is about to come out with something or, like, really.
True.
Exactly. Every opportunity they selling you something, so, and like Renee said, they're a model for black love. So, that's what
to too many.
To some, exactly. They put that, or they call them power couples now. That's the new. That was another thing they ran. Yeah. Power couples. The Beyonce, Jay-Z, Alicia Keys, Swiss Beats. Everybody wanted to be a power couple. And like C said, it's a business arrangement. It's not really. They may not even really have that kind of love. It's just business now. You know what I'm saying? For tax purposes and shit like that. So it's not.
I just look at how that's ironic, Rob. The three you mentioned, the three married couples you mentioned have formed via dysfunction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how they form. And then now they put out there like, yeah, that's a power couple. I don't need to go into how Luke and Swiss Beats met and all that, but we know because we followed it. But it's like, yo, that's what I'm supposed to model myself? Nah, I don't think so.
No.
But and even the youth, you know, we gotta not. Look, I know, understand the media. They pumping you with images all day, like what's supposed to be good, and you know, like Renee said earlier, like Eurocentric beauty, you know, whatever that is, you know. But black women and them is not even comparable. Like they just not, you know. So, but they have control of the media, so they giving you the idea, and if you weak-minded, you're gonna fall into that trap.
All they did was
they got trapped.
They took everything they made fun of black women for. They want now.
Yeah.
They want the lips. They want the ass. They want everything.
Yeah.
They want the man. They want the whole package. They want the skin color. They want everything.
They want the black girl magic, but they want the struggle, like Amanda Seals say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, they for years they humiliated and they laughed and they made fun, but now they all getting their lips fucked up and all kind of shit for shit that we have naturally. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe they doing that because of hip hop. Hip hop, you know, maybe the entertainers.
But they all doing it.
And the Kanye's of the world love it.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. They going all over.
Wow.
I mean, come on, these cats, like somebody said earlier, women. It's so messed up now that black women feel like to compete, they're going to Dominican Republic to get their ass done, to get their breasts done, get this done. Mm-hmm. You don't even know you're going to a third world country to have some type of major surgery.
Trying to out-black the white girls.
Exactly.
Well, look at Lil' Kim. I mean, look at Lil' Kim, how she destroyed herself.
She look a mess.
Oh, my God.
She look a mess. She was fine the way she was when she was coming in.
Beautiful.
Now she's horrible.
Beautiful
like
queen.
You look at you like, what the fuck? You fucked your face up. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's part of that self-love. You wasn't happy in your own skin. You wasn't happy in your own skin. So you had to go do something extra. You know. So I mean, these are the things. You know, it make black men. It make black men. I think it put a bad stain on them. I definitely do, because I mean the comments and the things that women are saying. It don't look. It don't sound, and it don't look good. It don't. I'm
gonna pass this information along to some of the guys that I do know that, you know, actually are ready for these conversations. There's a few. You know, they have questions. Yeah. There's a few. They just don't. They don't voice it. They're not going to voice it on social media. They're not going to come on. Well, eventually, I can bring the mature ones on here, and we can, you know, I guess have that dialogue. But we needed to do this part first because, I mean, it was necessary. And I don't know, hey, bro, you have some tough ass questions, man. I hope, you know, I don't know, man. It's like you had to have multi-layered answers. You know, got the ladies thinking. This ain't like you can't even answer all the shit in one session. Like, you know, you definitely gonna have to have a part two, because you know all you did is spark something so he could come back later like, we gotta have another session because, you know, I didn't get this out or I need to get that out. You know, I already see that. I foresee that. But what's your third question? I know you had a couple.
Before we get out of here, I guess one of the things I wanted for women is to understand is that, you know, being a black man, yes, it's like extremely hard. It's definitely extremely hard. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Black women, it's hard for them as well. It's hard for them as well. But they can move through this society much better than we can as a black man without you know, we have to do a lot. They want to break us at every moment, at every chance. So, and I don't say that as an excuse for black men, but because I get on them just as hard. But I think, I think a lot of women nowadays, especially the newer ones, like they've learned from the past generation, and they have a real disdain for black men, as far as, like, you know, the image that's also portrayed of them, that they're, you know, black men, they're no good, they don't, you know, they don't take care of their kids. And so, I mean, because there's a lot of examples of where they don't, because a lot of people have grown up in homes. But what I can say is that nowadays, I can say for at least my generation, I feel like a lot of the, especially all my friends, at least I can definitely say that, all my friends is pretty, I would say, pretty damn good fathers and take good care of their kids and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So I thought, you know, I think that kind of changed. What do black women feel? Do y'all feel like, did you see that change, that there's more better fathers nowadays, or no? Do you think that, you know, it's still 50-50?
I think it's definitely more active fathers out there. I mean, I see it from day to day, even just in the hood, men of color with their children, without their significant other, without the kid's mother, taking care of their kids. And, I mean, you just have to be a part of the culture to know that. A lot of the people saying it are people who are, number one, they're not picking the right life partner to have a child with in the first place. They're having their children entirely too young. And, you know, they don't have a plan. They're just out there searching for love, and they end up with a child by somebody they don't even know. So get that piece. And then, you know, you do have the examples of people who are not, either they're not able to take care of their children because maybe they've been incarcerated, or maybe just because them and the mother of the child don't get together, the mother is not allowing them to see the child. There's a lot of different things going on. But, you know, I definitely think there are active fathers, but like we said before, it has to start with the relationship. You just can't go out here having babies with anybody. That goes for men and women. Yeah, and when we all hold ourselves accountable for the actions that we take, I think relationships will just be real, authentic, 100. Like, we won't have as many issues as we have today. People got to be accountable for themselves. Like, we can't say, oh, you know, and I'm not taking away from what you said about the black men having it hard, but let's not even, you know, try to one-up each other. Oh, it's harder for a black woman than it is for a black man. We both got it hard. They both coming. They're coming for all of us. They don't want us here. They've made that pretty clear. So instead of us saying, you know, black men have it hard out here, we need our sisters to support us more. Black women have it hard out here, we need the brothers to come to our rescue. Let's just do it and stop talking about it. That's what we need to do. It needs to be less talking and more action. And that's how I feel in general about everything, not to segue off the topic, but even, you know, the protests of Black Lives Matter and things like that. I'm not knocking anybody that does it. I can't be out there because I'm not taking my kids out there in no mess like that. Not to be, you know, unsafe. But, hey, let's stop talking about it and let's do it. Let's do something. Let's start creating initiatives for ourselves. Let's be accountable for what we do. And I think when we start doing that in everything, then we're going to come together, because that's where it starts, us loving ourselves and then loving each other.
Okay.
Black women got it hard. I mean, I see it. You know, they like it's not even one-upping. Like, I've seen it. You know, we see it. Like, you know, me and Rob, we talk about that many times on different shows, and you know, we see the constant devaluing or trying to devalue, you know, the creators of civilization. Like, it's just asinine that people are even, you know, coming out there like that. And, you know, I think social media has just created this, I don't know, false sense of security, because people say shit they would never say, you know, in your face. Cause, like, you know, when I'm out and about, you know, I see Caucasians all the time. They bow down. Like there's no, like, you can't even look me in my face. Like, you a devil to me. Like, that's how I look at them until you show otherwise. You know, we could be cool, but you're not going to degrade a sister. Like, if I'm on the train or if it's a road rage incident, like, nah, I'm not, you know, dude, like, we're not doing that. You know, so that part is stepping up for a black woman. I know that it's hard for y'all. I mean, there's a lot of policy changes that always went into effect. You know, I've seen it growing up in when I was a child. You know, a lot of fathers was like just getting removed, you know, systemically or whatever. You know, in the 70s, the 70s was an illmatic time for black women because we just disappeared out the household, and what we got replaced with, you know, a little couple of benefits here and a job here, or you got to make a choice. You're gonna be a career woman or a mom. Like, it ain't like that today. Like, but it's difficult. Like, you get to make all these choices. Yeah, I'm gonna be a mom, an entrepreneur, and I'm gonna have a career over here and raise my children. But you know, it's wear and tear. So you can't do it by yourself. And if society tries to X us out, we know that they coming at our head because y'all always under attack. But I find it crazy that the creators of civilization, the black woman, like, there's no way in hell that me knowing I'm gonna let y'all go down like that. Like, this not happening. Like,
well, see, they only do
can't
that.
Do it.
They only do that. They only do that to the black women that they know they can't get at or change or impress or change their mind on how black men treat black men. Now, the ones that sisters that get in corporate America and they start doing their thing, they can get to them because they giving them money and power. So automatically it's the same thing. Like if they give the brother money and power, he go get him a white woman, she go get her a white man. You know what I'm saying? So you know, sisters can elevate in it if they play the game correctly. You know what I'm saying? If they play the game correctly, they got good use for them. If their sisters don't play the game correctly, they ain't got no use for them. But you notice that they try to brainwash you with the little subliminal shit you see on TV commercials. White man, black woman, white man, black woman. You know, in commercials, mixed moving that way.
Yeah.
And that's you know what I'm saying? That's what you're seeing now. You see that more prevalent. You're seeing that more. Oh yeah, it's like common now. So it's like they beating it in your subconscious now. Like, this is the new look. This is what we looking at. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you don't have to. It would mean, you know what I'm saying, at the same time, like, I think they said in the beginning, like, you know, they breaking up the core, which is the black family, and they've been doing that for years. As long as they can keep us not as a family and moving as a unit, they winning. Because if we can connect as family and move as how we used to move in a family-orientated manner, then we win. They know we can. We don't need them now. We don't need them. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like I look at everything as how the chessboard is. You know, the queen can go anywhere on the board. She protects the king. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when if the king fall off, the queen got to hold it down. And a lot of times the king has fallen off. He's fallen off in his actions and the things that he's done. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to take his life on the board.
That's a great analogy though, because on the chessboard the king only can move one space.
Exactly.
Either side, and queens be going diagonal, straight, and they can't jump nobody. But they make moves. But that's real. That's so they do.
So that's what I saw. So I think that that's big. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how we build. But it's going to take, like I said, it's going to be a lot more conversations. It has to be, because we have to take care of our own self, and we got to figure out as black men how to make this work with our black women. As far as, even if it's just on, not even if you're not with that person, but just on learn how to be a friend to a woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like, dudes can't think. Like, if a chick say hi to them, they think they like them and want to be with them. You're like, dude, relax. Like, calm the fuck down, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that is so true.
Like, she just said hi. That don't mean she ready to move in with you tomorrow and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think
you're rushing the process, right?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? You just got to learn how to be a friend. Like, you just got to learn how to be a friend and understand that everybody don't want you. They may like you as a person, but they don't want you personally. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes, and like a lot of these dudes, they can't deal with rejection. That's why you see all these crazy things that you're hearing happening. Oh, this dude, he stabbed his mother, his baby mother, and dudes can't take rejection. It's like, I mean, I know it's a different era, but like that was like part of growing up for us out there when we was out there going through the process. That, you know what I'm saying, that getting rejected. Like, you know what I'm saying? You learn to build tough skin. Like, every girl don't gotta like you, and you know that, but you're gonna pitch your shot anyway. And if she say no, you and your man's gonna clown you, and y'all gonna laugh and move on. And you're gonna step to the next person. And she may not like you neither, but it's just a part of it. That's just how it works. And you learn to deal with rejection.
Well, okay, hold on. So how many times can you get rejected before you say, because there's a lot of people that go through that, the different forms of rejection. They say, all right, you know what, then black women don't like me. I'm going over here. You know what I mean?
I can tell you in my life, I've never felt that way. I never felt that way, but I never felt that way. I laugh at some of it. I used to laugh. It was like sport. Like, okay, that's fine. And move on. You know what I'm saying? You could go all night. Like, you could go all night, so you know. You know what I'm saying? You could go all night. You only need one to make it to the end of the night and say, that's the one that was meant to be. Because the other 20 said no. So they was like, all right, so it's all good. You move on. You know what I mean? But these dudes now, they can't take rejection, none of it.
They can't. They can't be careful. I'm going to say this. Be careful. I'm going to pass this on to the ladies, and I can pass it on to nieces and all of that. There are guys, they like you. They'll chase. They'll do the whole courting thing. And if they don't feel that it's going to be reciprocated, they're going to chase. And then when when y'all do your thing, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to be nice the whole time, too. And then you just ain't going to get that call no more. And you done invested. Because if you don't give, you're not going to receive. Like, that's how it is. Yeah, I know people that have done that personally. Yeah, I'm going to take her out. I'm going to do all of that. I'm going to be nice. And, she act like she don't like me, but, that's all right. And they'll go, whatever rule you got, 3-month rule, you got a 1-year rule. They'll do all of that, and after it's said and done,
they'll go the whole distance with you.
They'll go the whole distance, and then they out.
They'll go the whole distance.
It's all a conquest.
That's why
it's a conquest to them. Gotta be careful.
It's
messed up.
That's why you gotta teach it.
That's why I say
your daughters the game. You gotta teach them that shit. Like,
you gotta teach them what's up.
You gotta test them.
You gotta be straightforward. You gotta be straightforward. Like, where do you? When you come into this game, when you come into this life, say, all right, I'm going to date this person, or you choose this guy based on whatever quality. Now, okay, yeah, you got to ask questions. Yo, if they stumbling and him and their horn, like, you got to press them. You don't press a dude, like, you ain't going to get no answer. That's the truth. Like, ask the hard question and see what they say. If it sounds like bullshit, like if it feels like bullshit, dig deeper. Like, no, wait a minute. Are you saying boom, boom, boom? Put them on the spot. Because if you don't do that, all you're going to get is circular argument, circular debating and bullshit. I tell that to anybody, any female in your family. It ain't no secret. You just got to ask questions. Because I know I'm going to ask the question. All right, well, why you want to go out? I ask that. What you want to go out for? Like, what's up? Because I ain't just taking nobody out. I was brought, we going to be on the phone for a minute. Like, we need to talk. Phone conversation.
You ain't never lied about that.
2-3 hours. You know what I'm saying? Little, I need that. You know what I'm saying?
And he's telling me, y'all, he's that serious.
Stages today, and you guys.
That shit is real.
Round 2.
The first thing, I got questions. We online, because social media made it, it's better than a phone call. I mean, phone call is good. At least we have the phone. Okay, do the phone call. But social media, you can contact back and forth. All right, cool. But then you go to the next level. You go hang out. Okay? Now, once you had to earn to the hangout. That's anybody. Because why waste your time? Like, I'm not going to be on the phone like, all right, yeah, we good. Then, like, I know dudes that just skip steps. Like, how you skipping a step? Like, how you hanging out with her? You don't even know her. Like, forget going out. Like, yo, do you want to be out with her? Like, I asked dudes that. Like, nah, yeah, I just want to, try to see if I can get with it. And this. I said, get with what? Like, yo, dude, don't call me when that shit goes south. Because I get a lot of phone calls. I ain't going to put nobody on blast, nothing like that. But I've gotten phone calls as the mediary, the person in the middle, because I know both parties. I don't like that shit. I'm just putting it out there. But, it's unfortunate. Because you got to do that part. You have to get to know the person. That's the part of the relationship that, I always put that out there. Talk to the person, get to know them. Don't waste your time. Don't waste my time. Don't waste that lady's time. You don't want to be bothered, then don't be bothered. But the chase, I don't know. That's a bad taste in my mouth. Chase. If he want me, he'll show me. He'll come after me. Yo, how much chasing you want us to do? That's a real question. How much chasing does a man have to do, lady? So before you say, all right, I'm going to give you an opportunity to, get to know me, take me out, whatever. Like, how much do we have to do?
You asking women that question?
Yeah, like, how much?
That's a question for girls. You don't chase women.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Ooh, okay.
Women have specific intentions. They know what they want going in. Girls like to chase. Girls and boys chase. Those are play yard games.
Right, and waste time. It's like you already carefully laid out. We don't have time. Like, once you mature to a certain stage, you don't have time for the games. Time or patience. You know what I mean? So it's like,
that's right.
We do. I would like to see some effort. We both have to make an effort, and the guy should expect me to make an effort to get to know them as a person, and that should be a mutual thing.
Absolutely, because at a certain age, you should have those social skills already. What is the chase about? Let's talk. Or not talk, whatever works.
Yeah, like let's push forward now.
Hey, Rob, what you think, man? That was.
I think
that was powerful, man.
Yeah, that was.
You know right away.
That's it.
I
agree.
You want to spend more time. Once you meet
like
somebody,
I know
right
immediately.
Away, you invest more time. I don't.
You know immediately.
Invest any more time.
Yeah, you know immediately.
So,
if you're a person that that talks to and you deal with people on a regular basis and you holding a conversation with a young lady and y'all talking, you feeling out to see her depth. You're gonna talk about school. You may talk about the daily politics, whatever, just to see where that person is, and you can listen and tell from that point how much further do you really want to go with this, because you see her depth, and they'll see your depth, and they're asking you questions, and you can't respond to the type of you giving off, silly answers, and you're like, this might not be the person for me. We can't really hold no real conversation. All you want to talk about is, gossip or shit that's in, all over. So, nah, that's good. I think we good. So you pretty much know, like, one conversation. You don't need multiple. One of the first conversations pretty tell you if you're going to call this person back or y'all going to continue to have a conversation, because, if they can't talk to you to stimulate you through talking, then it's like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't got time for all that. Yeah, because, we come from the era of the phone. We love the phone.
That's right.
I love the phone. I can talk on the phone for hours.
They don't do that no more. You had to
do that no more. I come from the talk on the phone.
Oh, miss the call. We ain't have all this internet and all that other stuff. So
we talk on the phone. Like, you be on the phone, you got the phone, you got the cordless with you. You made sure it charged up for the night. You sitting on the phone for a couple of hours till it go dead. Like, yo, call you tomorrow. That's somebody you gonna want to talk to tomorrow. If you're on the phone and the person they talking to, you like, all right, I think my mother calling me. I'm gonna call you back, all right? And you get off the phone. You know how, man, me and C went to school together. So he would call, and I'd be like, yo, I click over. Hold on, son. Yo, I gotta go, man. That's my pops on the line. I'll call you back. I see you on the line. Yo, what's up, man? Yeah, I was on the phone, son. It was nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because the conversation, if it was a real conversation, I click over and tell you what I tell you. See, yo, son, I'll call you tomorrow. I see you on the train in the morning. Yeah, if not, I see you in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I see you. You know, we talk on the way to the calf. You know, but
exactly.
So you know right away if this is the person you want to continue to have a conversation with. So yeah,
you want to continue the process.
Yeah, exactly. To continue the process.
Okay. Wow. So before we wrap up, then, because I see that. Okay, so we didn't even get to all of the questions, which is not a bad thing. So I guess we're gonna have to bring the ladies back on. Or should we bring on the guys then bring the ladies back on? We got to get the guys on before we get the ladies back on.
Bring on some guys that know what they're talking about.
Bring the guys.
No. We ain't bringing no guys on with y'all.
The guys and the ladies.
With the answers no, they're after. We got to vet the guys.
We got to work together. This is a community thing.
We will.
We will.
Let's address it.
Okay.
We will.
Okay.
You know, once we get some of the guys who can actually, deliver those type of responses. I mean, there's a few, but you might need a mixture because you still need to see some ignorance every now and then.
Oh Lord.
I mean, well, I know ignorant guys too. Not that they will be welcomed on this call, but but feel free. I guess let's bring the ladies back on. And finish that up. I guess we could always schedule the guys because, but then again, we asked them some tough questions, so, that's going to be, but hey, the two grumpy men, this, the relationship forum series, the first of many, this is just the beginning. Yeah, we touched on a lot of stuff, actually, that we needed. Yeah. Hopefully, we help somebody, when they listen to this show, maybe they heard some things that they need because there was a lot of stuff that was said that, may not even hit them right away, but it's definitely going to resonate because, it's real. You can always feel the real. So, I appreciate y'all ladies, everything that y'all said, very strong points.
Yeah, definitely.
Got a lot to process. Got a lot to process.
I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Nat. I want to thank Renee. I want to thank Kia. And we'll talk offline about that little side comment we had over there earlier. Thank my daughter. And thank Dion, my sister. So I appreciate everybody coming on, giving us your input. And definitely we're gonna do it again and bring it back, and we're gonna continue this conversation. And let's keep pushing it forward, pushing this conversation, the culture forward for ourselves and for our kids to make it a better place for us, and really make sure what Black love is, just not Hollywood style, but just regular,
No doubt.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night, ladies. Appreciate it.
Right.
Good night.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.